Alright guys, welcome back for the second part of little basically tips video, or series that I'm doing here. In the last video we spent a little bit of time looking at what our shots do, learning our clubs, and what way the ball is going to carry as you adjust for draw, fade, etc. The whole lot, and how you can customize it to your own liking and set up for exactly what you want to do in the course designer, and how it's much better over the default practice facility that HB provide in game. But one thing I know I did mention that you can obviously still use that practice facility in game if you do wish, for the likes of just warming up your swing or calibrating your swing if it feels off to you or anything like that. But one thing that I didn't mention is that I actually do that as well myself before starting. Usually what I'll do, if my swing is feeling off, I might calibrate it, but otherwise, if I'm not even if I'm not calibrating, what I'll do, whether I am or not, or after calibrating, is on the driving range. Who was it did the song years ago? Was it De La Soul? 3 is the magic number. I'm pretty sure it was that's who it was. I will not leave the driving range until I hit 3 perfect downswings on the driver in a row. So I mean, I could get 2, hit a slower, hit a faster. Okay, right, I'll do it again. I could get another 2. Again, slower, fast. Do it again. I could get 1, then a slow, another 2, whatever. But until I actually hit 3 perfect downswings in a row, I don't be too concerned about the swing line, because I can iron that out with just making slight micro adjustments with the angle of the controller for my thumb on the stick. My thumb has to be in a very precise position. You may have a completely different grip to what I do, but whatever feels comfortable for you. So that's what I do. I might do the same as well for putting, just hit whatever shots on the practice facility it gives me just to get a feel for it. Now I know there are only 144 greens, so again, that's where the designer comes in. You can set up for whatever green speed that you want. But now what we're going to do is we're going to put all that sort of stuff, all of what we've learned from doing that, into practice now out on the course. I've decided to pick, I actually saw it there a couple of days ago on Facebook. Somebody was promoting one of their societies, and I haven't played this course since back in TGC 2019. Which is Scarlet Inn, Germany, by Arctic Fury. So want to have a little bit of eye candy while we're doing this. We're going to keep everything on default. I am back on my normal on the master swing. I'm pretty sure that I have everything turned off in regards to the true shot. I'll just double check that really quickly just to make sure. So as you can see, back up on master, we should have all the true shot stuff turned back off. Trajectory, scout cameras, UI only. Right, so we have all that perfectly set up. So as I said, we're going to keep everything on default. This video might go on a little bit longer, just with me going through thought process and stuff like that for shots. Hopefully I don't have to split the video in 2. But we are going to, as I said, keep everything default. So whatever the golfing gods throw at us for wind is what it's going to be. So let's just make sure settings. So the fairways are going to be firm, the greens are going to be soft. So in the previous video I was doing very firm, very fast. So it's going to be a little bit slower and they're going to be a lot softer. We are going to be playing off, obviously, the back tees, which are the black tees, 6,930 yards. So I mean, it's not a long course, but course management is still a big thing. That's on pin set 2 because, yet again, me and my society events, it seems to default it to whatever the previous thing was. Actually, one thing that I want to do, actually no I won't, I'll keep it for another video. Right, let's dive straight on in. Right, so I have not, as I said, I haven't played this course yet at all on 2K21. I haven't played it since TGC 2019, so can't wait to see how it actually does look now in game. But straight away, what we want to do, I did mention in another video as well, it was another course management video. I'll probably drop a card up in the top right for that, if I remember when editing. But this can be your best friend, which is the yardage book. I don't use it really. I don't use it in my videos. I think only a couple of videos I've used it, but that's more so just a time saving purpose. But I do use it when I'm not recording. Also as well, like with what I'm going to be doing here in this video, you don't see me doing it very often because, again, I'm just trying to save a little bit of time. So straight away off the first tee, we know, right, we've got 2 options. We can come down the left here. We've got that tree. Now if we do end up filtering off down this way, we do still, provided we come down far enough, we will have an angle into the green. But for me, by the looks of it, because we'll be able to get up and over that tree, actually down the right might be a little bit better. 6 mile per hour headwind. Right, let's see. Hopefully we can hit a good tee shot. Alright, that's good. That's not bad at all. Now I'm hoping that this will kick down far enough. And no, it's not. So, right, now we've gone and put ourselves into a little bit of trouble. This is where the draw and fade is going to come in. It is a par 5, so I'm not worried about getting there in 2. We have got a lot of risk here anyway with water we're trying to carry, especially now the fact that we're going to be putting a lot of fade or draw into it. I'm going to favour the fade because we are more to the left side of this tree, and then it'll bend around this tree. So we don't need to change the aim and position. We just need to just aim out. Just put about half loft or half fade on, should I say. Now I do keep in mind that I have lost a couple of yards carry due to that. And we have got that headwind. So hopefully the 4-iron should be enough to get us around both the trees and down into the fairway there. Hit it fast, so that's definitely helping us carry. And it did. Got it around the trees. Very nice. Looking at your options, that's a very crucial thing. Looking at the options that you're given with the course from the designer. So we've left ourselves now 82. Say it's playing about 89 with that wind. I'm pretty sure I have not played this course. I'm going to have a look back through my videos. I'm getting Alzheimer's if I did play because I don't recall playing it, but for some reason this green and just the house in the background now is starting to look familiar, unless I'm getting flashbacks. But we're saying it's playing 89, so lob wedge is going to carry 91. Ball is a little bit below the feet and a slight downslope, but I don't think I'll need to make any adjustments on this because the greens are soft, so hopefully it'll sit fairly quick. Right, we've got a little bit of a fast, so that's going to pull out a little bit to the left and maybe just carry on a few extra yards. Or it does come back. That's with the soft greens. Help it bite a bit quicker, and we've left ourselves a great opportunity for birdie now on this opening par 5. Now, again, up in the top right, you should see a card for the putting video. I'm not going to go into too much detail on that at the moment for the methods that I use. I might try and explain them as quickly as possible as we go through the round. I just overhit that very, very slightly. Unlucky on that one, but that's me talking away. The main focus of your round, whether it's a casual or if you're playing competitively in a society event or anything like that, or even just in career mode, is your main objective for any round should be just keeping the bogies out the scorecards. Yeah, there's the cows out the tee. I think I actually have played this already on 2K21. I can't remember. I'd be half asleep most times when I'm recording or playing. But hole number 2, right? So we've got a nice par 4, two trees splitting the fairway. So we've got the choice off the tee, dependent on the wind. Now, best angle of attack for me personally, it looks like if we come down here to the right, we've got choices both. We do have choices both sides, but I think it's a little bit more forgiving over here, a little bit more space to work with, especially with that wind. So I will take it down there. We did get the perfect. I did push it though. So we're over a little bit far to the right, but we can still see the green. It's quite a lengthy approach now. 224. It's up 38 feet. So it'll be at about 30 and on 237. Okay, so that with that wind now, that's my 3 wood. You'll notice as well, a few days ago I did change out my clubs, which I did show off in the previous video. So I'm going to pull that back to about 228. I'm expecting just to play par on this one. Ball is quite a bit above the feet, so we need to compensate for that. So 230, 237 as well as it's playing. Tell you what, because we have got, looking at your green as well and what it's doing is a big thing. So we've got a big slope going up here. So my initial thought is, right, I want to land somewhere around about here, take some of the sting out of that and get it to run up. So yeah, I think I'll play it around about 230. Roughly in and around about there. Oh, got a little bit of a fast, but I think that's actually going to help me. It should stun on that slope, which it did, and it's going to run up there nicely. A little bit further than I thought, but we've left ourselves a 12-foot putt. So basically what I do really quickly, even though I did leave a card, as soon as I get onto the green, one of the methods I use is I watch the beads, and the first bead, as soon as I get on, to cross the path of a dead straight line between the ball and the hole, I look at where the other beads are. So this is telling me I want to aim roughly around about here, just about halfway out. Green speeds are 163. I did overhit that a little bit again, but it is turning, and we do get a birdie on this one. Excuse me. Back in TGC 2019, for those of you who would remember, who've been around for a while, some of you, like those of you who may be new, only kicking off here with 2K21. We have the counting method for putting as well. I'll go into that one now on this hole. So again, hole number 3, another par 4. We have trees splitting the fairway, giving us the option. We've kind of tight over here, but the wind is calm, so we do have that option in favour as well. But again, it's a little bit wider and a little bit more forgiving over here, and we do still have a good sight line into the green. So I'll favour again the right hand side. Ooh, a little bit fast, so we could be in a lot of trouble here. Might get lucky and it'll kick out. Very fortunate there that did kick out. Now say I am on master swing here, so don't worry about your swing difficulty. Whatever you're comfortable with, play at that as well. But obviously if you're in a society event, you may well be locked to a certain difficulty. So we're left with 102 into this one. And what I'm always thinking as well is the hop and the roll. So this has defaulted me onto a pitch shot, which I don't like doing pitch shots personally myself with irons. I try and keep that to the wedges only. So my sand wedge is going to carry 105 and it's playing 102 to the pin. So I can pretty much, if I want, I can knock this up there full and try and rely on that little backstop there to just feed it back down to the hole. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to take just a little touch of loft on it, and then the attack angle as well, just to let it sit that little bit quicker. Ball is very, very slightly below the feet, but it shouldn't affect it too much. But I'm always thinking for any pin about running up, so I didn't take that much off. Tried to feed back down. I could have done a little bit more loft there. But I'm always thinking about the run up to the hole, and that's why the practice facility for different, your own personalised one for different run outs, you can practice that, see what way the ball is going to react with different clubs. Right, so this looks like it's going to be playing about half out. Now the count on the backswing, this is where the haptic feedback actually comes in very, very useful, because a lot of societies you're not going to have the distance control meter or the power bar down the bottom. So you're feeling that vibration, and in 2019 you could just go 1 and swing, 1 and swing. If it was a 20-foot putt, you go 1 and then push forward to be striking the ball on 2. But we've just got a little 9-footer here. 1, 1, 1. Just get a feel for it. I did have a horrible push on that, you'll see by my swing line. So this is my first round of the day. Actually, I'm having to get this done fairly quick. So we'll just drop that in for a par. That is a very, very makeable putt though. But yeah, I went and pushed it. But again, I kept the bogey out the scorecard. That's the main thing. I'm playing for par on every single hole. If I have a bad round, and even if I don't get any, if I get no bogeys on the scorecard and I only shoot 400, then so be it. That's the way that it was meant to be. So hole number 4 is now another par 5, and we've got again choices off the tee. The fairway is split, so we can carry it over here. But that is, yeah, that is actually going to feed it back down around to the left. We have got a nice 7-mile-per-hour wind again, but it is a par 5. It's 538 yards, so it's reachable. The question is now what we want to have a little look at on the overhead. We have quite a few hazards up there bunker wise, but we've nothing by the looks of it that's going to cause us to drop a shot. But I'm going to aim at the tree and hopefully get a perfect this time. Oh, and it's a red fast. Okay, so we're going to be in a little bit of trouble here. But again, this is where the practice facility comes in. We kicked out. Is that just light rough? I think we've practiced for all this stuff. So we're in the light rough. Not going to get there in 2, I don't think. Anyway, we might. Well, we have a 91% shot now. Actually, I did not see it on the overhead. See, we do have quite a little bit of risk here that can be missed. We have that little pond. Will we go for it? Is the question. I think what I'll do is I'll pull back to the 5-wood and just get it up there. Because if this was a society event, I certainly would. I'd rather just lay it up rather than be putting a bit too much risk on. So we got ourselves back into the fairway. We've left ourselves now with just a little splash shot up into the green. 20 yards, playing about 23. Don't think I'll need to change this at all. That's on a pitch. Well, change the shot type because that's on a pitch. Maybe just put a little bit of D-loft on it, just to ensure it does get up there. Hopefully it does. A red fast on it, but that's not too bad. That's another thing as well. Play for, if you notice that you consistently get a fast on a particular shot type or even a slow, just adjust for that. And just play it as you normally do. Don't be trying to force the perfect. So for myself personally, what that would be the likes of a splash shot. Now generally when I don't make any adjustments to the carry distance, like choking back on it a little bit or anything like that, or I haven't lofted it, generally I'd say 7-8 times out of 10 I will get a perfect on it. But once I start adjusting it, I'm more inclined to actually get a fast and more common sort of red fast. So I just adjust out to the right for that. So just play your shots accordingly to how comfortably you will play them on a regular basis, or how more inclined the shot is to play out. So we have a little par 3 here for the 5th hole, and it's 176 yards down 26. So we'll round that up to 27 and take 9 off it. So that is going to be 167. 167. So that will be a 6 iron. Or we can do a 7 iron. 7 iron should get on there nice and comfortable, to be honest, and run up. Yeah, so I think we'll play that. The greens are soft, so what did I say? 169. With tiny touch of loft and attack angle on it. Now for the wind, what I'm doing is similar to TGC 2019. You'll see you have the flag marker over the hole there. I'm moving that out, and I'm going to let that come all the way down until just before it stops moving, around about where it stops moving, and hopefully that should be enough and signal to me that that's how much the wind is going to pull it around. I'll pull it back in just a little bit as the wind is trying to die. Right, we've got to go perfect. It's not too bad of a swing line, a little bit off, but it's coming around nicely. We are going to be on the green. It's going to be a bit of a lengthy putt though. I was hoping it would have carried just a little bit further, but again, practice for different putt distances. We'll pop our pin back in, because if you overhit it, sometimes the pin can be a little bit of a safety net and help the ball drop in. This looks like it's going to break just about halfway, just a little bit over it maybe. And we're going to go 1, 2, get a feel for the vibration. 1, 2, 1, 2. Right, we got it in the white. It's tracking pretty well. And it drops it in the hole. So it did come up a little bit shorter than we intended for that approach shot into that 5th green on a par 3, but we still managed to walk away with the birdie. But again, I'm playing it for par. If I had just missed it, it's no problem. Tap in par, move on to the next hole. You are always going to have those bad rounds. You're going to have you're going to have them days where it's just absolutely everything, all the stars align, everything falls into place. So we've got a nice little downhill par 4 here for the 6th, and 8 mile per hour headwinds. Now the fairway is leaning, or sloping, should I say, down to the left, and we do, as you can see, have a little bunker off here hiding in the shadows, waiting to catch us out. Now the wind is a bit more favourable, where hopefully that shouldn't be an issue. But one thing what you'll do as well, which I mentioned with the yardage book, and I mentioned in that other video, is if you're not comfortable with specific shots as well, I'm okay with pretty much any shot myself personally. I like the challenge of taking on whatever I'm going to end up throwing at myself, I suppose you could say, depending on the shot choice I did beforehand. But if you're not comfortable with doing a partial shot, don't be afraid to club back, say off your tee shot. Now I've left myself here 144 yards, it's going to play about 151, so that's going to be an 8 iron in. But just say, for example, if it was whatever it is, say that I needed to pull back a little bit, just say there was no wind, 144 yards, I have the choice of either that. That's fair enough, it'll hop and roll. But just say if you need to do a partial shot and you're saying, I don't like the look of it, set yourself up for using a full shot of whatever shot type you are comfortable with. It's all about setting yourself up and giving yourself the opportunities. So 144, so again saying about playing about 151. Now we're on a bit of a downslope, so I'll take a little touch off it, just get it to sit a little bit quicker. But I have left me, oh, that's a horrible one, and it can happen. Oh, we're going to be still on the green. We're going to come off, right, so we have a little chip shot. Do I want to do a 10-yard? No, I don't want to do a 10-yard chip. Just going to aim out a little bit. Just aim to land it pretty much right on the edge of the green. It will break hard with the hop. Oh, it's another red fast. That's trying to creep into me, but that's to say this can happen as well. It's about trying to fight that off. So we may well actually get a bogey here. And as I say, it can happen. It's your main objective to keep it off your scorecard, but it can happen. No method is foolproof. Take that quick. Now, is it going to turn hard enough? Ooh, just burned it. So unfortunately, we are going to pick up a bogey. And the important thing is, I'm actually happy that it has happened, because the important thing is, what happened with me for a long time is two things, especially if it's a society event. So say like a big society like TGC Tours or any other big society that's competitive, is you're going to see the leaderboards. I never look at the leaderboards during a society event, and another trap that you can fall into is you get that bogey and now your mind says like, oh crap, I've got to try and get that back. Just continue on playing as you were, and every hole is a new hole on the course. So it's basically just putting that behind you, water off a duck's back basically. So hole number 7 is a par 4. We have the option of getting down into this tight area, but my driver is a bit too long. I have the option I can really choke back on the driver, pull it back, or I can hit the 3-wood. 3-wood is still going to be a little bit risky with that water there, so I'm thinking I'm pulling back. Looking at the slope, fairway is sloping down. We have got that wind. I might even pull back to the 4-iron. You don't have to always take the driver or the longer clubs off. You can feel free to pull back. But just due to that, I'm probably going to have a little bit more of a longer, or I am going to have a little bit more of a longer approach, but I'd rather take the potential for hitting it a little bit fast and getting into ending up in the water. I'd rather take that out of play. So I'm left with 113. So with that wind as well, I think possibly without even adjusting it, the gap wedge might be just nice. Ball is well above the feet, so we'll pop it out for that. And yeah, I think we should be just nice without any adjustments on this at all. We get the perfect. It is coming around not as much as I thought it was going to, but sat nice and quick. We're just 12 feet out, so we've left ourselves a good opportunity here. And this looks like it'll break pretty much green line. One. Is it turning enough? It is, so we read that nicely. And see, once you get used to your own, whether you use one of the putting methods that I use, you can try them out, or if you have your own particular putting methods, obviously once you get used to that, you can drop putts, so you can get putts very close quite quickly. You get that sort of what's the word that I'm trying to think of? I can't think of it now. It's kind of on my head. But straight away you'll know what you want to do. You have the routine, so you're looking at it a particular way, and you'll say, okay, straight away with the methods I use, looking at the beads, I'll say that's 1 line out, 2 lines out, 3, whatever, it depends on the break. So hole number 8 now is a par 3, and it's 144 yards, playing about 140 with that wind, but now we've got, or with that elevation should I say, but with the wind it's going to be playing closer to about 132, 133. So I have the option, I can either really crank the loft and the attack angle on the 9-iron, but it's safer to drop back to the pitching wedge at 128 carry. And what I'm going to do with this one, I'm going to see if it'll work. Hopefully it does, because you said it's playing about what, 132. Actually, I might not need to change it. I was going to do it the other way. I'll take a little bit of loft on, a little bit of attack angle. And sometimes, depending on the shot, what I'll do is I'll do a slight touch of D-loft, but then still change the attack angle for it to bite quicker. And I could have done a little bit more. I could have not taken anything off there. So I think the other option I was originally thinking was probably the better choice. But we have left ourselves again another birdie opportunity. It's slightly breaking a bit more left to right, so I'm favouring just pretty much left edge. And then it's again 1, 2. Feel for the vibration. 1, 2. Little bit of an overhit, but we drop it into the hole. Excuse me. So we're 4 under through 8, which is moseying along nice. My target does always usually be 5 under through 9. We do also, and again, keeping in mind that we do have a bogey on the scorecard. So hole number 9 is a par 4. As you can see, we're defaulted with the 3 wood. If you're ever questioning as well, just in case you're not aware, if you're ever questioning why you're defaulted with a certain club off the tee, that's just pretty much down to, if I remember correct, it's just down to the waypoints that were set by the designer as he or she was mapping out the course, or at that particular hole. So there's some courses where I've started with a lob wedge on a flop shot and be like, what the bloody hell is it doing? And then, like, this is going back years, and then somebody told me, no, that's what that is. It's just the waypoints. So we have the options here now. We've got a nice winding fairway. We've been defaulted onto the 3 wood, which I say will carry up there nicely, and sort of slightly feed it around to the right. We have got the 7 mile per hour tailwind, or we can get risky. It's a short par 4, 366 down 6. So I'm playing about 360 to the pin. Now, my driver with this tailwind should comfortably carry over there. There is a lot of risk involved with the bunkers, which could potentially lead to another bogey, but we're going to take it on. It's not a serious round, so... Well, that's a fast 100%, so we are going to be in a little bit of trouble. That's another thing, is weighing up all your risk reward options as well. Is it going to be worth the risk? We're not going to drop a shot straight away if we had a bad shot. So, like, I mean, that wasn't water, we're just into the bunker. It's 59 yards. Certainly don't want to take a splash shot with an 8 iron. It's going to be a pitch shot. And it's a 77 to 85%. Now, the wind should affect it a little bit. But I think pulling this back to around about 64, 65, I hope should be just enough. Now, one thing that we are hoping has been mentioned to 2K and HB, that just about the, you can't see it here, but I'm holding, obviously you can see I'm holding L1, but you can't see any lie grid. So just to see the lie of your ball in the bunker. So hopefully that does get fixed a little bit soon. But hopefully we get enough now to get this with the tailwind. Right, it's another fast. I need to get that under control now myself. But we are on the green. And it's probably going to be a 2-putt par. But we've left ourselves the opportunity for birdie either way. It looks like it's pretty much going to play a green line again for me. I think I underhit that a little bit. Hopefully the downhill takes it. Where's the ball gone? Just a little bit further out. Just that underhit. There was enough downhill to get it there, get it the distance, but just underhit it, broke a little bit too aggressive. But I'll knock it back, tap it in for the par and move on. So 4 under through 9, not too bad. Hopefully this video is not going on a bit too long. Try and get the whole 18 out of it. But if it's less than an hour, I'm happy. That's the main thing. I don't want to do 2 separate recordings. So the 10th hole, again, we've been defaulted now onto the 3 wood. And we've got this big tree splitting the fairway. So one thing we probably don't want to do is end up, but we're going to have a look at our sight lines. So if we do manage to get down past the tree, we have still got a sight line into the green. And I'm using the wrong blooming. There we go, that's the direction that I want to use. So now the option is, excuse me, do I want to play it up a little bit short and have a longer approach in again? Because it is a bit of an uphill approach, but we will have a tailwind. Where is my driver going to carry? Driver is going to carry me. I am completely on the wrong angle, so we'll just change that. So driver can get me to here. So what I can do is I can do a partial shot off the driver, off the tee with the driver, or I can play the 3 wood. I think I'm just going to play the 3 wood. I'll aim at the tree. Actually, I'll tell you what. I'm going to try this sight line over here. I'm going to try and play it down into here. Right, we got it perfect. It's going to carry past the tree. So we are going to have a good look into the green. Might be a little bit of an awkward lie, just the way that it kicked there. Right, it's severely above the feet here now, the ball. But we're left with 169. Up 50, so round that up to 51. That's going to be taken, or that's going to be adding on 17. So it'll be 179, 180, 186. Call it 181, 182 with the wind. So I can play my 5 iron in here. Should touch down on the green just about. Now we have got these nice slopes here. Sorry if I panned that a little bit too quick, but we have got these nice slopes here that I can run onto them, and we still have a nice good opportunity then here. It's nice and calm, all of the grid lines here. So I'm going to play that, the 5 iron, and hopefully I have worked that out right and it does carry up there. Alright, got it perfect, just about. Oh, was going to come up a little bit short. Now we're touching down on the fringe, actually just barely onto the green, but we are coming up onto that slope. Now it's sat there right at the bottom, so it didn't, again, the greens though are soft. But again, I'm just happy to two putt and get out of here. We've got another 8 holes to play anyway, so there's plenty of opportunity still out there on the course. I'm thinking maybe just shy of 1.5 for this. 1, 2, 1, 2. Right, we got the weight right. Did I judge the break? It's track in, and that's a beautiful putt. So I mean, I got the weight right. I got it pretty much in the area with the putting technique that I use. That I'm so used to looking at the beads and judging the lines pretty quick. That I was leaving myself with an excellent chance for escaping with par, but a good opportunity to drop the putt, and luckily enough we did. So hole number 11 is a par 5. We're defaulted onto the 5 wood. Now this is where you can get as risky as you want. Like, I mean, do you want to try and get there in 2? We'll have a look at our overhead actually and just see. It does not look like we have any water in play. So if I hit the driver, the main issue that I have is these 2 bunkers right on this dog leg. That's what I want to keep in mind. Obviously 3 wood is not going to get there, but I mean, I can play it down to here. Have we got any trees in the way off the tee? We don't. So I mean, we can play the 3 wood down to here, or we can get risky. And keeping in mind that to this point it's 279, but it's up 31 feet here. Adding on another 10 there. So I'll pull it over to here. Fairway is favouring to feed back around, so we'll play there with that wind. We'll see what happens if we end up in the bunker. Hopefully we don't. It is a par 5, right? We've got the perfect. The wind is taking it around, and we've carried. So I mean, there was a little bit of risk there, but the reward is a lot greater. Now we have left ourselves, by the looks of things, with a bit of a horrible second shot due to the lie. This again, now we can see water off in the background, but otherwise we haven't really got too much in the way of hazards. So the risk, or the reward, is greater than the risk, because what we can do now, 3 wood only carries 235. I can happily play this, get on the fairway, flop, chip, splash, whatever, onto the green, and hopefully walk away with the birdie, or I can club it up to the driver. Now to keep in mind, 85 to 88% full shot with the driver. I could well get onto the green here, but I am going to leave myself a very, very tough putt. But I am going to take it on just for the purpose of the video and see what happens. In a society event, I'd probably more than likely actually just play the 3 wood and just lay it up. But again, that's another thing, don't be afraid to be laying up on par 5s. You don't always have to go for them in 2. Oh, that took a very, very nice kick. So, took the risk reward on, we got the reward. Because that has worked out very, very well. This could be in the hole a little bit further left on its roll there, and that was in. But look at that for a beauty. That's the risk reward factor there. There was not much risk in terms of hazards. We could go for it. The main risk was 2 main risks. We were either going to end up in one of those bunkers, but it's a par 5. We can still flop, chip, splash, whatever, on for to get away with a birdie, or we would have left ourselves with a monstrous putt. But we have a very, very good look from 8 feet for an eagle. So this looks to me like it's just going to be outside the left or the right edge, even if I can get left and right the right way around. And we do indeed get rewarded with quite a fortunate kick off the slope there, and we get an eagle. So that moves into 7 under par. Now what that'll do as well, that'll get your mindset going. That'll trigger your brain thinking, right, we've got a little bit of positivity going there. So that can boost you up as well to perform a bit better, because I fall into the trap myself where if I hit 1 or 2 bad shots, that's it, your round can just crumble. A few days ago, just before recording the other video, actually, I mean, I was shooting over par, just because I just wasn't feeling the best myself. Well, I was feeling a bit off for a few days, but it was carrying across into the game. So hole number 12. Now this is a good hole. Actually, I kind of do remember this hole now from the last time I played. We've got quite a bit of water, but again, we've got that sneaky little pond just hiding in amongst the trees there. And this is a reachable par 5. It's 312 down 37. Now, is my driver going to get there? I don't think so. We've got quite a bit of risk. Just those trees are just protecting a little bit too much. Excuse me. But I mean, if I want, I can try and take it up there. The wind should carry you, so biggest risk, provided I don't hit a red fast and kick back down into that little small pond hiding in the trees, is I can take the driver, and the worst case scenario, I'll end up in that bunker there, I hope, if not carry over into the rough. But I should not be dropping a shot. There is quite a bit of risk here, but I am going to take it. What else I'm going to do? So I'm going to get very, very, very risky here. And I'm going to completely lower the attack angle, because that will add some carry distance onto my driver. Should carry it to about 290, I think. And with that wind then as well. But that's quite a risky shot. We did pull off the perfect. That is going to carry way too far. But hopefully maybe if we can touch down and kick hard left. And it does. And we are on in one. So this is potential back-to-back eagles here. As we've just hit that par 4 and 1. We took that risk on. There was that hidden, that little sneaky pond hiding there. So we definitely didn't want to take it directly over the trees and fire it right at the pin. But I took that gamble, as there wasn't much else in the way of potential drop shots. Oh, I pushed that horribly. I just run over the right edge. Again, left and right is the wrong way around for me today. But I do still have a little tap in for the birdie, so I'm delighted with that one. I had the opportunity for an eagle too. Unfortunately, just pushed the putt. But I've still walked away with the birdie, so great risk reward hole there. That's what I love about Arctic Fury's courses. The guy is just a master at designing courses. He will give you every opportunity. He can lure you into some false sense of security as well. But the 13th hole, par 3, 205. 186 is my 4-iron carry. So I have the option, I can choke right back on the 5 wood. Because with the greens being soft, I don't think a 4-iron is going to get there. Is it running downhill? It's kind of level. And it'll stun there. So what I can do, as I say, is I'll just club it up to the 5 wood. Got quite a bit of space to work with. The greens are soft. I'm going to pull it back to about here. Now this is where, if you're not comfortable with it, this could be if you have the exact same clubs as me, because we've got a little bit of a headwind as well. This could potentially just be a par hole. Could still be a par hole depending on how well I play this shot. Feel for the vibration, which is just an absolutely great thing. Got a bit of a fast there. Great thing that they added into the game, especially for partial shots. Very useful for that. We're on the green, left with a monstrous putt. Unfortunately, it did hit the fast. Actually, it's filtering itself down there, so that's not too bad. It's about, what, 28 feet. So mid to long range putt. Main thing is just to get it close and just play for that par. So 1, 2, 3. Oh, I did overhit that a little bit. Well, say if I got the perfect, that would have been just nice. So it is a par hole. Hopefully that is what we come away with. And we do. I did overhit that just a little bit, counted a little bit too slow there. But we have a par 5 coming up now for the 14th hole. And I can hear the church bells around the corner. How long have I been recording? I hope not too long. I didn't look at what time I started recording. But again, split fairway. Quite narrow, bottlenecking up here. And courses I'm recording now, the bin men are coming in, for feck's sake. As you can see, it's kind of early when I'm blooming recording this now today. Normally I'm recording in the evenings, but I have the chance this morning to record. Right, I am favouring off the tee here. Par 5 again, I'm not worried about having to get there in 2. I am favouring, just because of the slope of the fairway and the angle of the wind, I've got a lot of potential to easily get down here in this bunker and turn getting on in 3 into getting on in 4. So I think I'm going to favour down here. I'll aim pretty much at the tree, let the wind pull it away. Oh, a little bit of a slow, so we're definitely away from the tree, but hopefully it doesn't carry on too far and end up in the rough, but it shouldn't. And we're in the fairway. Weighing up all your options, that's the main thing. Just getting yourself around the course and doing your best to keep those bogeys out of the scorecard. So 280, playing about 282 into the pin. Again, we're going to have a little quick gander around. Not much at all, again, in the way of hazards. We got that lone bunker there guarding the green. We've got this tree up here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the driver off the deck again, because we've got 86 to 89%. So I'm guessing this will touch down hopefully around about 250, 255. Oh, that went a lot more left than I thought, but we might get lucky and get a kick here to the right. Gonna be in that bunker, I think. Just into the rough, but now we just have a little splash shot in. into the green. Definitely not going to take a chip. And again, I do apologise if you can't hear the bin men out there outside the background. It is bin day. So we're going to pull that back to, we've got 77% lie, and it's 15 to the thing. I am going to push this, I'm going to pull this back to about 18, and hopefully that should be enough just to carry us up to just around about the hole anyway. Got a slide fast, which is not good, so now we've left ourselves, we had got the chance, but I took that risk, and even though there is no hazards that could potentially drop a shot, I took on the risk, and unfortunately it's not paying off this time. So 9 yards to the pin. I'm going to pull that back to about 6. Still potential to chip it in, just on the fringe. Oh, it ran nicely. It ran nicely. So we are still going to escape a par. Now, I do always say myself, and a lot of other people do say the same, par on a par 5, it does feel like dropping a shot, because that is really where you should be taking advantage and getting birdies on the scorecard and not being too aggressive. But I'm an aggressive player myself, so I'll take on the opportunities where I can to try and get as many shots off the round as I can. So hole number 15 is a par 3, 114 down 37, so playing about 102, 92. I think, am I working that out right? Now I hope I am working this out right, that a lob wedge is going to get me in there roughly in and around. We'll do a little touch of D-loft and change the attack angle again, just get it to sit a little bit quicker, because this might carry on a little bit too far, but I think I'm working this out right. Even though this is only a short par 3, there's still a lot of risk involved here, because of the fact we have so much water around us. But with the angle of that wind, I hope I am working this out correctly. Oh, slight fast, so it should definitely carry on to the green. That's the main thing. But even these short par 3s can be a par hole, just depending, like wind conditions. Like, we're not too bad with the winds, they're sort of mid-range, but that can certainly be a factor in how you're going to play a hole. Come on, turn for me. Turn. I went out a little bit too far. It was just halfway between. I just doubted myself as well. Gut feeling is another thing that always catches me out, where I don't go with my initial thought for the break on the likes of a putt. Like there, while I was talking, I just said, right, I know it looks roughly about halfway. I'll go with halfway. But I just doubted myself there on the first putt. So the 16th is another par 5, and we've got a nice favourable wind. Off the tee, the options we have are down through this little bottleneck here, funnel it down between the trees. We've opportunity for a big drive here. But if we do come down this way, have we left ourselves, because we've got another tree down there, have we left ourselves then potentially with a good sight line into the green? 515, possibly for a long iron. If we come over here, so this is the only problem. This is why I want to be able to pan down that, or zoom down that a little bit further on the scout cam. We do have a little bit of a better sight line into the green potentially from over here, so I think we'll have a little look at the overhead. Now, as you can see now in the overhead, we actually have got water in play front and back of the green. So I think laying up, we do have a back pin actually, so right, what we'll do, we'll assess the situation, right? Both seem to be decent options. I am going to come down this side, or will I? No, I won't. I'm going to get aggressive again. I'm going to adjust my attack angle all the way and really knock it down here, hopefully. Ooh, it's a red slow, so we're actually unintentionally coming over this side now, but thankfully we did get the slow. It wasn't the fast, but thankfully we did have this option over here, and we've actually left ourselves a very good look in at the green, and we can certainly get there. It is reachable. 181, playing about 185, so that's going to be pretty much bang on the 4 iron, so we're not obviously not going to use that. I'm thinking 168. It's playing about 171 to there, because with that wind, this should be just nice. Just take a little touch off. We're on a bit of a downslope, and this is where you can still get very, very risky. Trying to go for it in 2. There's no need, but I'm going to go for it. Need to hit that perfect. Just about got it. It is going to be on the green, but as you can see, just about. If I hit any way of a slow there, I was more than likely going to be swimming all day. We're on in 2. We have an eagle opportunity, so chance for a little bit of revenge on the course. With is it 2 bogeys we've got now? Not much breaking it. A little bit more right to left as we get up the slope. So I'm going to favour just right at the pin. Actually, no, I'm not. I'm going to keep it straight on, actually, I think. And we should be given about a 5 count here. Another thing I did not mention earlier on in the video, the putting marker, I do not change the distance of the putting marker. You can do, if you want, you can work it out like put it up 1 foot for every inch of uphill or whatever. But personally, me, I never adjust the marker. So I mean, I'm pressing R1. If I aim it out here, press R1 or right bumper to reset the shot. 48 feet, that's where I want to keep it. So now I'm going to give it pretty much a 5 count. 1, 2, 3, 4. Feel for the 4 on the vibration. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, just a little bit too fast on that. Just slightly underhit it. But I've got it up the slope and now I have a tap in birdie. And more often than not, those little short putts are the ones that you'll screw up. The amount of times I can just take them a little bit too quickly and just fluff the shot. And on the likes of a 3, 4, 5, 6 foot putt, sit it on the lip and it doesn't drop in. Just because take a little, you kind of get in your head where you think, it's only basically a tap in, this is in, no problem, and you fluff the shot. So hole number 17 is, I believe, the final par 3 now of the course. I think we're going to be finishing on a par 4. 184, playing about, it's down 29, so we'll call it 30. So it's going to play about 174, 178ish with the wind. But looking at this slope, straight away, I want to try and kick it somewhere around about here. I don't want to kick it here and kick it off to the side, or here and kick it off over here. We can do a little bit more of a lengthy putt, but my straight initial thought is I want to land it somewhere around about here and kick it forward towards the hole. Wind is dying down, so what did I say? 170, 174, so about 177 is what it's playing. So I'm thinking 168 should be just nice. Maybe just a little touch of D-loft. Change the attack angle slightly. I've hit a fast on that, yeah. But should take me down to that flatter part of the green. A little bit of a longer putt than I want, or what I had planned, but I've still got, again, a little bit of a lengthy one, a birdie opportunity, and I think it's going to break pretty much about the green line. Again, just want to escape with a par. We're on a good score, 9 under par, so 1, 2. Got the weight nicely there, and it's going to turn. Beautiful putt. So in there, I'd left myself with pretty much a guarantee to walk away with par, but I managed to get it in the hole in one with a bit of a mid to long range putt for a birdie, and that moves us to 10 under par. So the final hole now, again, we've got choices off the tee. Now a little bit of a headwind, tailwind, I'd go here all day, and as you can see, the fairway kind of feeds it down nicely. But I think it's going to be better play to come over here, just aim pretty much just at the right side of the rough, because the wind is going to pull it back in. So you just have to keep that in mind. Is it going to be worth the risk? Depending on your club, that maybe you have a longer carrying driver, you could well have carried over here to the right hand side. But for the clubs that I have, this is the best approach for me with the current situation of the winds, or current condition or situation, whichever, what I'm faced with at the time. And so it's a long par 4 anyway, 207. I'm going to be playing about 210 in, 219ish with that wind. We have a little bit of a backstop behind the pin, so I'm thinking if I pull this back to 210, near enough, what would be playing about 210, so 207, pull it back to pin high, put it out a little bit for the wind, and I'm hoping the wind should, maybe I'll just do a little bit of loft. Wind should hold it up enough. We've got plenty of space then to run up, and provided I hit it well, maybe I might hit that false front and just take a bit of sting out of it. Whoop, thumb slipped out the stick there. Thankfully it didn't follow through. There we go. A little bit of a slow. We're off to the right, but I think it is going to make it on regardless. So we're going to have a little bit of a lengthy putt again, but we are on in regulation. 2 putt par. That's no problem. I'm more than happy with a 10 under par round. Quite a big break to me. This looks like at least 2.5. Closer to the 3 maybe. Just want to get it close. So let me just make sure. 39. Yeah, I want to keep it at 39. So 1, 2, Have I gone out a little bit too far? Yeah, I want to go just about here. Actually, I was going out too far there. So 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, and 4. There it is in the white, and it's tracking pretty well. Little bit shy, maybe just 1% off, but I was still in the white zone for power away. And we do close out the round with a par. But again, that's a 10 under par round. Now, I mean, you're talking if that's considering the fact that if we get back onto the scorecard here, considering the fact I got one bogey on the scorecard, so if I played that, now that was stroke index 1, so that was the hardest hole on the course. But if I had played that a little bit smarter, I would have been a par. That would have been an 11 under par round. Missed a couple of putts. The par 5 14th, again, that's an opportunity wasted there, because and the par 5 first as well. Par 5s are where you really do want to take advantage. That's your main objective, as well as as I mentioned, like getting a par on a par 5 is like dropping a shot. You really want to be taking advantage of the par 5s and getting the birdies on the scorecards there. But otherwise, it's just basically play for par is my main thing, and just assessing all of your options, knowing what your clubs are going to do, what you're capable of personally yourself for the shots, what you're comfortable with. That is the main thing, putting it all into practice out there on the course. And even though I'm talking away, not fully, I'm trying to think about what I'm trying to say for this video as I'm doing it, because it's not scripted. Still managed to shoot a 10 under par round on a fabulous course, Scarlet Inn, Germany, by Arctic Fury. That is going to do it for this sort of on the course, putting things into practice of what we've learned from our clubs and all that sort of stuff. So our little tips video. If you managed to make it this far in the video, I hope you did enjoy it, and I hope you found it useful as well. If you did, make sure to drop it a like and drop a comment down below. Let me know your thoughts yourself. If you haven't done so already, make sure to hit subscribe. I shall talk to you all in the next video. Until then, take care, have yourselves a good one, and bye for now.